One thing I would like to know, and I apologize for the quality of the videos or whatever. I'm not, for one, in an automobile and not exactly set up for doing all this. Has anybody ever noticed it seems like these creators, they want you to spin your tail? It's like, I get the race or whatever, hey, we're going to give you a little bit. You can get it all if you spend as much time at it as I have. But what they'll do is it's like little breadcrumbs. And they won't, everybody gives you like a little bit over here and a little bit over here. And it's like nobody gives you a roadmap of doing this. And it could be because the roadmap is different for everyone. And it may be that nobody can tell you how to get from point A to point B, but there's got to be a base of doing it. And the only base that I found, this is just from from everything I've been evaluated to and witnessed firsthand. I went from being at such an insanely high vibration. I was giving, I was receiving. It was, I can't explain it to you. I went from a 0 in 45 days. I went to basically, I want to say, an 8.5 or a 9 of vibration. And it was just this pure belief, this inner knowing that something was pushing me and it was so much better. And one thing happened. I received a phone call from a guy who I'd been avoiding. And he told me one thing. And I've been not wanting to talk to him. I said, hey man, our paths are going to cross again. This and that. And I answered the phone call after I sent the text, and I shouldn't have. Actually, I should have, because it made me grow and put me here. But at the time, I was at like a 9 in vibration. Me and the family were insane. Like, they were like seeing me in a different light, and I was so excited. He said one thing: how are you gonna pay your rent? And I wasn't worried about money. Money was coming from the credit cards were being paid. It was just, all of it worked. But I couldn't pay my rent online. And it gave me this insane amount of doubt. Like, all of a sudden, and I went to my breathing techniques. I got as far as I could into it, and it ate at me. And it was this fear and this doubt. And I couldn't shake it. And no one talks about the up, like where you got it and it's over with, and in your heart God wants this for you, and this is the true you, and this is what you're made for. And then you get your thingies cut from one statement: how are you going to pay your rent? And I wasn't worried about paying rent. One negative thought took me from a 9 to the next day. I was like, I'm never going back to work again. I don't have to. And I've been saying that and I was like, God's got me. God's got me. God's got me. God's got me. He is my supplier. He has this, and this is something I didn't notice, and I'm just opening my mind to it. And it was just this magical 9 days of my life where it was the best time of my life. Everything was clicking. I was on all cylinders. And then, how are you going to pay your rent? And I've been spending $8,000, $5,000, $7,000, $6,000. But I couldn't pay my rent online. And then the next day I got a phone call, said, hey, come back to work. And I was like, I think I have to. And I've been chasing, from the addiction, I've been chasing that ever since. And it's been a good ride, man. Anyway, I wanted to put this out there. I love y'all.